TC442 is one of the technical committees for CEN, the European Committee for Standardization. So each technical committee has a scope. This means each technical committee develops standards under a remit. So in this case, TC442 will develop all the standards for BIM, for Building Information Modeling. So they will develop all the European standards for this method. This is the third meeting of the technical committee, I think. But meanwhile, we have several meetings for the working groups. So we take, at this level, we take decisions, more strategic decisions. But then we have the working groups where the experts actually work, so where they develop the drafts and where they decide how the standards will be. In total, CEN has 33 members, so the 28, soon 27, 3 countries from EFTA, European Free Trade Association, and then 2 countries that are in the process of joining the European Union, Macedonia and Turkey. But they, not all members attend all meetings, so because they are not interested or because they don't have resources or they don't want to attend this particular meeting and they will use their resources in a working group meeting. But no, this is good to have 15 delegations present, because you have to understand that each delegation can have up to 3 people. Then we have the European associations participating as well, so lots of people involved. Well, yes, so CEN is an European organization, so it's one of the 3 ESOs, European Standards Organizations, with CENELEC and ETSI. At international level, we have ISO, and they develop standards at international level, and we are in close collaboration with them. We have something called the Vienna Agreement. This means that we can adopt their standards as European, and as a matter of fact, that's what we did in this technical TC. We adopted 3 ISO standards as European standards. So this means that if this work already exists, it already exists at international level, we don't have to repeat the work. We don't have to redo, just adopt these standards at European level. And when this standard is adopted, it means that it will replace all national standards. So that's what we do. So all these countries have national standards, and then they work together to agree on an European one, and this one will replace all the national ones. So we'll start working in the same way rather than having different ways of working across Europe. Yes, it is extremely challenging. Well, you see that, for instance, to approve a standard, we need to have 71% of the votes, which is a lot. And because usually countries already have national standards in place, they want the European standard to be as close as possible to what they already have at national level, so that when you approve the European standard, you don't have to change that much. So you have to be willing to lose a little bit of what you had at national level. So sometimes you have to give one step back to be able to move forward. So, but then we'll move forward all together within European standards.
This was sort of one of the original goals for the whole group, CEN TC442, was to implement the ISO standards, IFC, IDM, and a couple more as a CEN standards, and this was actually happening today. So we got the CEN standards for IFC, for example, and I think that was the sort of the highlight of this meeting. Otherwise, the work groups that we have four at the moment are more or less. Some of them are already in good speed, but some of them are still picking up and trying to figure out what's the real scope of the work. So we have some real issues there, and we need to focus on because these work groups will then at the end of the day they will deliver new standards that support these IFC, IDM and IFD standards that we have finalized basically today. Of course, they're not finalized, but we need just some translation work, but the actual sort of initiative is there, and they are out and they are published. So I think that was the highlight of this meeting.
We have the first proposals to start new work items. So this means that so far what we had was decisions to approve ISO standards. So that was the first step to pick from the ISO catalog the standards that we want to adopt. So as the initial step. And now we already have proposals on what we want to develop ourselves. And so I think this was the most important milestone here, that we already are proposing deliverables to be developed. I think it was the main achievement today.